Okay, what do you think, Sherry? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's start with, 7 years. Can you believe it's been 7 years?
When all of this first happened, I remember them telling me it'd be 10 years, before I found out anything. And I just thought that was I could not accept that. I'm like, that is crazy. But so to think it's been almost 7 years since, that happened to Tommy, I feel like I haven't had him for a lifetime, but to think it's really been 7 years, it's unbelievable.
When Tommy was killed, he was in the midst of major searches. He was so dedicated. He was working so hard. Do you think that played a role in his death?
I think his dedication did, because he was so dedicated. I don't think he knew stuff like everybody thought he did, but I think my husband was very well liked. He had a lot of, people he knew and resources, and I think people knew that, and they wanted him out of the way, and I honestly think that's what happened. That's why that happened to my husband.
Do you think if he was still alive, he would have found something out? He would have played a key role in getting justice?
I think he would not have given up. I think he wouldn't have given up, and certain people knew that he would not give up.
Whenever a year passes, when we talk every other year it has felt like, okay, can this be the year? Can this be the year? But this year is a little bit different. It really is. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel very good. I think my husband's going to get justice. I feel very good about that. And it's given me a peace of mind, knowing that I do have that that may be coming, or I'd never give up praying for that.
Obviously, we were all in the courtroom with some major news just last month. What was going through your mind when you heard that?
I can just say that I'm very happy with the way things are turning out. I can't comment on certain things, but I am very happy with the way things are with the way things are going.
Was there any moment that you were surprised, where you caught off guard?
Totally surprised. Totally.
And was it a good surprise?
It was hard, but very good in the end. Very hard.
To me, it feels like, at least publicly, the first time we've had some real acknowledgement of what the investigation looks like for Tommy.
I think so. I think everyone's been working very, very hard, on his investigation, and I think things are coming together, and I think I'm headed in the right direction. After 7 years, I'm finally headed in the right direction. I have a good team, I'm in a good place, and now to move forward.
Was that information new to you, or is that what you have always believed?
No, it's what I've always believed. I've said that from day one. I've never, ever changed my mind on that, ever.
So in some ways it's a little validating.
Very much so, because, people just have to take my word for it. Now it's not just my word. I have something backing me up this time, and it's not just me as a mother or a wife or whatever saying something.
There's more there.
Yeah, so I feel very good about the way things are going.
Of course, now we're waiting. We got this big news, and now we're waiting. What is that wait like for you?
It's better than it was before, a lot better than it was before, because I know I have a direction, to validation, and that means a lot to me. I mean, my husband did not deserve anything that happened to him. And to think finally justice may be around the corner makes me happy.
When you think about what the next few years will be like, it's really a new chapter. You've spent 8 years trying to get investigators to work, to bring evidence, to make arrests. Now we're switching into something different. Are you nervous about what that will look like?
I wouldn't be human if I wasn't nervous. I know a lot I'm going to hear in my husband's case that is going to be very, very hard. Just to hear details and everything, it's going to be very hard for me. But I have not come this far for no reason. So I'm going to push forward, and I'm going to get justice for my husband that he so deserves, and I will get through this.
What do you think life looks like on the other side?
Gosh, I pretty much live day by day just to get me through the day. I know my husband's very happy now. I know he's thinking, I know he would be right by my side if he could, but I know he's happy with the way things are going.
Gives you some peace.
Yes, it does. And I need peace in my life.
Well, I think, Sherry, you have been a pinnacle of strength. You always say that you have no choice, and I know that to be true. But you really have been a pinnacle of strength. You've done an incredible job fighting for your family.
You know, Shay, I just look at my family, and I can't imagine no one not fighting for their family. I can't imagine that. That was never not an option for me. And, you know, you just do that as a wife. I lost a part of me, like my other half. I mean, that he was my other half, and I lost that. How can I not fight for that? There's no other choice.
With so many unsolved cases that go on to become cold cases, that go on to just become this sad story that with no ending, what do you think has made the difference in this one?
I think because I refuse to let that happen. I refuse to just let that sit there. That was never an option for me, never. I would have dedicated my whole entire life to find justice for my family. And I would have pushed and pushed. I tried to get every resource I possibly could, and so my husband would never be forgotten. And that was just not an option for me.
Do you have anything, Sherry, that you want to make sure you include?
No, just, I always try to include the public. They've been so good to me, so good to me. I've had so many people come up and just, it's always hard for me to talk about because people are so good to me, and I could have never got through this by myself. And I have such a huge support group that I just want everyone to know that without them, I would not be where I'm at today. And I don't know if I'd had the strength to get up and fight like I have if I didn't have support behind me. And that meant a lot to me, and I just want to thank everyone for that. All the love that they've shown me and just everything they've done, I truly appreciate that.
You have an army behind you.
I don't think I could have got up every morning, Shay, if I had people not believing me, and just thinking, well, she's just a sad mother and wife that helped me a lot. And I always want to be appreciative of that.